We are talking about time management. Good afternoon, all of you. I welcome for this presentation. And we'll start the presentation with a small quote from Winston Churchill. Success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Therefore, failure is a part of our life we cannot avoid. At any part of our life, we may get in this kind of failure. So what he exactly is mentioning is you should not lose your enthusiasm. That means the failure is an experience. What are the lessons we learn from the failure? We can incorporate in the next task. So for that, you need to have this continued enthusiasm in spite of the failure. Then only we must be able to have success in our life. So enthusiasm is a critical for a task and proceed for a success. Okay. So the topic for today is effective time management. As you know, what is the difference between effective and efficiency? Efficiency is doing things right, whereas effective is doing a right thing. So if you want to do a time management, you must be able to choose a correct activity, a right kind of activity. So then only your management of time will be more effective. And time management. Time is a resources. There is like a money, right? Time is a resources. And that resource we must be able to manage effectively for completing task. And also we must be able to succeed in whatever we do using time as the resource. Now, when you say time management, what you are exactly doing is you are controlling the activity. What is the time after all? It is a measurement of an activity. The measurement is in time. It may be 2 hours or half an hour or whatever it is, the time. That is a measuring your activity. Therefore, if you want to manage your time, you must be able to control your activity. You must be able to deploy the right type of activity and able to manage the activity for a success. Therefore, I like to make it time as a synonymous with the activity. So activity per se, I said, is a quantity, right? Therefore, you must be able to control your activity, incorporate quality, incorporate the appropriate resources so that your activity is able to breed success. So, so that therefore you must be able to time management. When you talk about time management, you must be able to focus on your activity, your task, method, what you're actually doing it. That must be focused. Then only you must be able to make your management of time more effective. Anyway, time management is a self-discipline. It is a resource available to you only. Your time for 24 hours, nobody can take away. It is you are managing it. If you got a money, somebody will borrow it, right? If you have a property, somebody can steal it. But the time as a resources is part and parcel of our life. It is like a blood, right? You cannot remove the blood from your body. Otherwise, you will be dead, right? Therefore, the time is also is part and parcel of our life, day-to-day activity. Every second is with us. So how we are able to manage, right? That is basically a self-discipline. So you must be able to understand the need for exercising self-discipline in your life if you want to manage time effectively. So time is the resource for organizational effectiveness and success. You set your goal, set your task, ask for resources, raw materials, machines, all this should be used effectively, right? So for that application, you require time as a resource. So therefore, time is essential resource for organizational effectiveness and also the organization, the company to be successful. When you say successful, the company must be able to generate revenue, able to keep the people happy, must be able to make some profit. Therefore, the time it becomes a tool for you to be able to achieve the success or growth of the organization, able to compete in the market by competing with the other companies. So that all possible. You change with the time. You use the time as a resource and also use the time to study the competitors, what is in the market, how they are doing it, how is their product functioning, how is your product functioning, compare it and upgrade it and apply the innovation. Therefore, you must use this time for your organizational success. Of course, we all have 24 hours. The one thing which is common with any kind of people, either poor or rich people, this resource, 24 hours, is a common thing for everybody. Some people use it very effectively, able to come up with the life, and some people not able to think how the time can be effectively used, not able to prosper. So when you say about managing time, the fundamental thing is starts from seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, etc. Therefore, you must be able to focus what we do right now, what we are doing it. How I am spending my time right now in this second. Can I bring some improvement? Can I bring some betterment? Can I do this job still better? That kind of questions need to be asked within ourselves. If you are able to apply this kind of questions, you can bring some marginal improvement. Day to day is some improvement. So it provocates our thought process. It questions our own thought process. Can I do it better? Is there any better way of doing things? Therefore, we must be able to apply our imagination right now. That right now is this second. So that is the way the second becomes a fundamental things for time management. So what are the symptoms when you say, poor time management? How will you come to know, yes, you are not managing your time properly? Let us look at what are the symptoms we will come across. Stress leading to poor health, right? If you're always stressed, then what happens? It will build up your blood pressure, hypertension, poor health, right? Over a period of time, you become a patient. You will not be able to carry out the work effectively, right? So therefore, you must be aware that your time management is important and that will lead to stress in your life. Not only stress for you, you may lead the stress to other people around, right? Your family members, children, right? So therefore, you need to be careful about this time management. And when I use the stress, there are some people, some books, they write about positive stress, negative stress. We are not studying about mechanical structures, positive stress, negative stress. We are talking about human beings. So as far as I am concerned, stress always have a negative connotation. It's negative. You cannot draw a difference between positive and negative. I don't believe in this positive stress, and I only believe there is a stress. That stress is not good for your health. The poor time management also leads to a team performance, poor team performance. The team is not able to meet the target which is given to it. So inability to achieve the goal also has got a time-bound activity, right? So if you are not able to manage your time, the task will not be completed in time. So you get a bad name in the process. You are not able to deliver the goods to your customers. Customer unsatisfaction. If you have more number of unsatisfied customers, your business will get affected. Keep that in mind. Of course, if you're low customers, if you're not able to deliver things, your quality is not okay, and you are not able to manage your time effectively to rectify all these aspects, and the company revenue will be lost. So if there is a poor time management, the people have no motivation, there is no drive, no desire, right? And the people in the company or the organization or the individuals, self-esteem will be very low. And also this poor time management affects the work-life balance. When you say work-life balance, you've got a family, you've got a children, your own health, all this required to be balanced. You cannot all the time 24 hours working on the job without taking proper sleep, taking care of your family, and therefore you need to balance how much time you are having spending on the work, right? There are people in the company that work for 18 hours, things like that. That doesn't serve the purpose. Then if you're working for a company for 18 hours, you are a poor time manager. Simple as that. You cannot say, oh, I'm working for the company, I'm bringing up the company. All these talks will lead to your failure. Okay, I've done a small chart about the prioritizing your work. If you look at the x-axis, you'll have, day to day, 9 a.m. and all these timings. And the y-axis, you have easiest problem to solve. Then you go on the top, you have complexity or difficult problems. So whenever you prioritize your work, please see that early in the morning at 9 o'clock, your mind is free, your efficiency is very high. Therefore, try to solve those problems, the complex problems, in the morning itself at 9 a.m. As the day progresses, your mind become tired. You may not be so efficient. That is the reason you must be able to take up. Even though you will not like to solve an unpleasant work in the morning or do it in the morning, since there is a necessity, there is an urgent, then you need to take that work on priority and solve it when your mind is fresh. That is early in the morning. That does not mean your mind becomes zero as the day progresses. Only thing is your problem solving skill or capability may come down as the day progresses. That's why at the end of the day you say you are feeling tired. What is the tired? Your mind is tired, right? Unable to cope up with the further work. So that is the way you must be able to prioritize your work. So look at this managing environment for a better time management. Even though the time belongs to us, there are a lot of people, 360 degrees, what is called stakeholders. Who are these stakeholders? The people around you, right? The internal environment. You are a manager, you got a subordinates, you got a workers, supervisors. The above level you got in the hierarchy, you have got top level management, senior manager, general managers. Then across the department, you have the other departments, maybe quality or production, or whatever it is, the department. You have to deal with these people. This is about the internal environment. If you look at the external environment, you've got the suppliers, you've got the customers, then you've got the government agencies putting pressure on the pollution, then you've got the legal issues, then you've got the tax issues. So therefore, as a manager, you have got to deal with these kind of people. There are people around 360 degrees. So you must be able to manage, tackle the issues, allocating the time appropriately, manage these people for the success of the company. They cannot rob your time, but you must be able to plan your time accordingly. You are able to deal these people, which is unavoidable and required to be interact, required to deal with these people, and able to manage your time in dealing with these people. That will become day-to-day requirement, and that is your ability to manage. And also, we have the habit of saying, I want to be a good worker. Keep on accepting the work more than what you can do. You say, keep saying yes and yes. And normally, the people who are good at work, who will say yes and yes, they will be loaded with so much of work. There is no much of distribution of the work to the other people. So that kind of people will suffer a lot. Therefore, when you say you are not able to meet, you're not able to meet the target what is given to you, you must be openly able to speak out and say no. We must be able to use the vocabulary no. Value others' time. When I grew up in the organization, right, we got some bad habit, right? You give an appointment to your subordinates or a worker. I'll meet me at 3 o'clock. This fellow, your subordinate, goes there and keeps waiting for hours to get appointment from the manager or an higher up. The time is important for every human being. He may be a sweeper or he may be a top level manager or whoever may be. So we have to value the time of others. When you call for a worker, his time is important. He got some work to do, maybe a small work, but he has to do it. And making people to come and wait, wasting time, is not ethical. So therefore, we must be able to value the time of other people in the organization. However big, however small you are, all are equal in terms of valuing the time. Of course, we get interruptions, mail, phone, people. There are people all of a sudden will come and drop in to see you, right? This kind of interruptions, we must be able to deal it more effectively. Nowadays, we got WhatsApp groups, forwards, that you must be able to judiciously use it in such a way it is only productive for you, not waste of time. And also, you must be able to analyze time and carry out a self audit at least once in a week. What was my activities? Where did I spend my time? Was the time was productive and useful? Is it useful to me and to the company? Right? This kind of self audit will be able to formulate, strategize, and also change your approach in the time management. You can weed out, remove those things which is not required for you. So that is the way you must be able to adjust, refine your working pattern so that you are able to achieve your task in a given time. So let us see how we are going to manage time. One other thing is that we must keep things in an orderly manner. A place for everything and everything in its place. You know about that 5S, Japanese concept of management. Cisco, Seri, and all these things. So therefore, you must be able to keep things in the place where you are keeping it so that you are able to pick up as and when required. File, a letter, or a product, or a tester, or any item. And also whenever you have a shift system, right? The other shift comes, they must know where the item is available. That will be, he keep on searching. It's a waste of time. So we have a tendency to postpone the work. That is what is called procrastination. So please take out the work which I mentioned earlier to you, which is you feel is not your liking. Try to do first and don't postpone it, because The work is important, need to be done in time. Therefore, we should avoid delay or postponing the work. The Pareto principle you must have heard in many places, 80-20 rule. Here the 80-20 rule is, the 20 rule is 20% of the time you must be able to spend only for routine works. It doesn't give you any challenge, no creativity. The 80% of the time you must spend on innovation, creativity, enhancing the environment, improving your environment, right? That is where your level of competing with the other competitors or the products comes into picture. Therefore, try to use maximum time possible in this 80% slot. Then you must be able to do better in your life, and your product quality will improve, and you are able to succeed in your endeavor. So that is what is the 80% 20 rule. Do right first time. That is basically quality. You know what happens if you don't do the work right in the first time, then you will keep on repeating again and again. Try to incorporate the right method, try to solve or do the task the first instant correctly without calling for any repetition. When you do repetition, it involves more resources, wastage of manpower, time lost, unsatisfaction, right? And all this come into picture if you're not able to do it right first. So we must avoid repetition at any cost by incorporating correct procedure in the first attempt. Learn to delegate. No, as a manager, you must not be able to do all the work, right? So therefore, you need to delegate. When you're delegating, what you're doing, you are giving the work to other people. When you give your part of the work is given to other people, then in that case, you are able to have more time for your creative activities, innovation, future planning, future expansion. So therefore, delegation is very essential for a time management. If you keep on doing your work which can be assigned to your subordinates, then you are wasting your time, your talent. And also remember, you have to train your own subordinates, workers, to occupy your place in future. If you don't do that, you will remain in the same place as a manager. You will not get promotion because there is nobody to take over from you. How you will get a promotion? Therefore, delegation is very essential. Must be able to delegate. If you feel the people are not trained enough, you have to upskill them, train them to take up the work which you allocate in they must able to. So the delegation becomes an essential part of your day-to-day routine, and also plan it in such a way that you are able to, part of the work is given to your subordinates, you have a free time to attend, think for betterment of your organization, betterment of yourself. If you don't delegate, you will keep on doing work like a donkey. There is no end. So therefore, your delegation becomes an essential part of you for your own growth and also time management. Fix the problem, don't fix the person. Most of the time, we waste time in fixing a person. Okay, I said failure is a common part, right? A fellow is taking initiative. You'll make a mistake. If he makes a mistake, and if you, without analyzing it, if you punish him, then you are demotivating him. So therefore, please look into, focus on how to punish the person, but try to focus on solving the problem, how to fix the problem, what went wrong. Is his training is not appropriate? Is the resources not available? That is what is caused failure. That you need to focus rather than we all go to punishing the people. We focus, waste time on fixing the person, but we leave again aside this solving the problems. How to do the problem again successfully without having issues, that need to be focused. We have different kind of communications: lateral communication, upward communication, lower communication, downward communication, all this. What is this complete communication? As a manager, when you are giving an instruction to anybody, you must be able to give instruction completely, A to Z. There should not be any requirement for him to come back and ask for any clarification. That is what is a complete communication. A communication you give it to subordinates, if he is able to understand fully, he can execute, he knows where to get the resources. That is what is a complete communication. Otherwise, what happens? Every step, every action, he is coming back to you, asking for a clarification. Then you waste his time, your time, plan your communication effectively. So that's what I call it as a complete communication. You need to tell him where you will get the resources. Manpower, machines, materials, raw materials, whatever it is. Your first instruction or a communication has to be total in total and must be cover all aspects. You have to foresee what kind of problem that subordinate will face. That is what you are a manager. That's what you have to envisage. That's what you have to anticipate the problems. So address that issues. You have to tell him you're likely to face this problem. This is what you have to do it. So that is what the capability giving a complete communication, complete instructions. That is very essential. That will save time. Otherwise, he will come and ask you for a clarification, and you will keep on giving solutions. I hope you understand that's waste of time. Decision taking on time. When you are given a responsibility to take a decision, you should not keep on postponing your decision or delaying your decision. If you delay your decision as a manager, what will happen to the people under you? Will they able to execute a work without you giving an instruction or a decision? They will keep on waiting. When is my manager will give me a decision? When I will start my work? They're also worried. They have got a responsibility to complete the task. So as a manager, when you are given a responsibility to take a decision, don't be afraid it will be a failure. If it fails, it's fine. Accept it. You are in a position, you are appointed in a place where you have to take a decision. You have to have a confidence in yourself. If you don't have a confidence to take a decision, that will affect the people who are working under you. You need to take a risk, no doubt. If you are take 10 decisions, one decision may go wrong. Let it go wrong. That will be a wastage of money. Let it be. That has to be accepted by the organization. Otherwise, you will keep on delaying your decisions and you will not meet the target. The goal achievement will be delayed. In the process, your whole team gets suffers. Therefore, be bold enough to take a risk, to take a decision and accept your responsibility. And even if you fail, that gives you an experience. That experience will help you next time to do better. That is the way you need to approach in the decision-taking process. You need to consult, no doubt. You need to consult. Instead of single brain working, if many people work, definitely that will be a positive aspect. You'll find your decision is good. You will get involvement of other people also, right? So decision taking, consult the people with other people also, and arrive at a decision at the correct time. Don't postpone it. Competency building and continuous learning. We tell about learning organization. What is learning organization? Is a competency or a skill building organization. Why it is required? If you are not effective, if you are not skilled, then you will not be able to compete. You will not be able to innovate. And in this process, we will be wasting a lot of time. Therefore, as an organization, upskilling, learning, unlearn, relearning is a continuous process. We are in a world of digitalization, technology changing. You have to leverage the technology, automation, industry, Internet of Things. So all this need to be incorporated. Then you need to learn how with the functionality, how we can bring an improvement. Therefore, an organization will be only successful if it is having a competent people. The people can work very effectively, deliver goods, come with innovative ideas, creativity. Therefore, that kind of situation to arise, you need to incorporate a continuous learning. So in an organization, you need to incorporate a continuous learning process so that the people in the organizations is always at the peak of competency. Your product is able to compete with the other people in the market. Innovate or perish. That is led to us in the organization. So therefore, please always encourage so that you are able to meet the requirements and keep the competent organization. So whenever you do any task, always write down the task before the end of the day. And again review it when you go to the office yesterday morning. Why I'm telling this is there should be a gap. You get overnight gap. So end of the day, you write what are the tasks to be done tomorrow. When you're writing the task to be done tomorrow, you are giving a programming to your subconscious mind. As you know, subconscious mind is more powerful. When you're doing this, writing it down, your subconscious mind start thinking about solution for this your task. I hope you are able to get it. That's why you're writing one day earlier, right? So that your mind start processing. You may be sleeping quite deeply in the night, but your subconscious mind is working. What are the problem I am going to do? What are the task I am going to do tomorrow? What is the solution for the task? That processing is on. So therefore, that's why I said you should write in advance this one list a task and prioritizing it. So that's why when you wake up in the night, sometimes the solution will come just all of a sudden. How it comes? Because that process is there in your subconscious mind. So yesterday morning, again you prioritize it. It will change. The prioritization you done yesterday, one day earlier, will change, definitely change. Because the overnight, your mind has undergone a process. So morning, you'll be able to make a better list. What work I am supposed to do first? That prioritization will come. And also when accompanied by that, you'll be able to get some kind of appropriate solution to that task, how effective to do it. So I mentioned about this overnight, that is what is called incubating the problems, right? Give some time for the problem to stay so that it gets incubated in your mind. And also discuss if the problem is so acute, discuss with the other people, involve the other people, so you are able to uh, do it in a better way. Next. So whenever you are doing any work or during the daytime, always ask yourself. I mentioned earlier, you need to review your task in the day, right? And bring some changes, because as the changes are continuous, there may be some changes required. Therefore, you need to review your task. So your whole time, your management, your thinking is how to delight your customer. As you know, the customer is a person who purchases a product from you or a service from you, right? You like to build up a good customer base. So how to delight him, right? So the way your product must be very effectively functioning, good warranty, right? Reaching out the customer, solving his problems, and all these things will lead to your customer delight. Focus on that. Customers are the king. We need to take care. Please be open to fresh ideas from others. Please do not say, I know everything. That is a very wrong statement. You may be knowing, but there is always many things to learn in life, right? Be open to ideas and build upon the others' ideas. So you must be able to do a better job. And also be watchful and spillover on family issues at work. Sometimes what happens, we bring the troubles we have to go in the family. It comes to your work. It is affecting your work, your performance. That you need to be very careful about it. Therefore, it becomes essential you spend enough time with the family so that they're happy, you're happy, you're able to work happily. So this is time management matrix. So there are four quadrants. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look at it, there is urgent, not urgent. Then you have important, not important. Now, in the quadrant 1, you are dealing with something very urgent in nature. Crisis, right? You have to achieve your deadline to complete the task. So you are on your toes. There are certain emergencies, maybe medical emergencies or some emergencies. Okay. And that is what you have to act now. You have to do it now. It is very important. Okay. Therefore, that's what is it? Important and urgent. That is quadrant 1. In the quadrant 2, your focus is on prevention of crisis, planning your work, achieving it on time. Not urgent, but it's important. You have to do proper planning. In quadrant 3, there is urgent. You're getting a phone call. You have to attend the phone call. That phone call may not be very important. Okay. So this is what is called urgent, but not important. Right? Many interruptions. Somebody is coming to our office. He is coming to office, it's not very important. But since he has come to your office, you have to meet him. It's become urgent. Routine meetings, interruptions, calls, etc. becomes not important but urgent. If you go to quadrant 4, these are time wasters. Right? What are the time wasters? Junk mails, watching TV, right? All this becomes time wasters. Okay. My question is, which is the quadrant we are supposed to focus? There are 4 quadrants. Which is the one we need to focus? Definitely, do you like to go for this crisis situation? Definitely not. That will give you stress. Please avoid that quarter one. But if you are pushed to that, you got to do it. Therefore, it's better to avoid this quarter one. Why you are getting to quarter one crisis? Because you are sleeping at quarter two. When you got a time to prevent this crisis, you are relaxing. You didn't do proper planning. Therefore, your focus for effective time management, you got to focus on quadrant two. Expand this quadrant, reduce all these things. You deal a thing when it is not urgent. It's an important thing. Start doing your planning work. Start doing your goal achievement work, starting from day one. Don't do it on month end. You are going 30 days, okay, I will do it. On 30th day, you are not completing. The customer is unhappy. You are not delivered the product. It's not completed. Then you go to crisis. What are you doing day 1, 2, 3, 4? Therefore, it needs a proper planning, prevention, focus, so that you don't go to the quarter 1. Of course, quarter 3 and 4 are not important. We should not waste much time on this quarter 3 and 4. Your focus should be only on quarter 2. I hope I am able to emphasize on proper planning. So some of the problems, how it can be resolved. Suppose a work is piling up, right? Then you have to analyze and set priority and set deadline. So you have a massive work to do. Don't keep collapsed. Analyze, set priority, and do deadline. Second, you are getting too involved in your work, right? That is your problem. Please try to delegate work more for your subordinates. Reduce your involvement. But at the same time, you must be able to give guidance as and when required. You cannot totally wash it off. So we already discussed unpleasant task. That is need to be completed. Therefore, set a time limit, stick to it. Okay, don't keep postponing it. No time for creative thinking. Please, in a day or a week, please have some time free for you. Say this is the time I want my mind to be fresh. Start thinking about creativity, innovation, all this. Please create a block time. Even you can go and relax in Ooty, right? Go and take rest and start thinking about, right, how I can bring an improvement to myself and improvement to the organization by introducing innovation. So if you have a constant interruptions from the people, right? If you are a senior level manager, keep secretary, keep appointment, so that whatever comes to you, it is already filtered. You only deal with the important things, not routine things. So therefore, that's why you find, the managing director and big people, they have a secretary. Half of the work is done by secretary themselves. It will not come to you. All right? So therefore, we must be able to avoid these interruptions. Sometimes we were tempted to do lengthy conversation in the mobile, chatting for a very long time. Please plan your conversation, talk what is required, plan it, and try to, if you find that conversation is exceeding, you must be able to end the talk politely. That is the way you must be able to save your time. And also, there's too much time spent on the meetings. As much as possible, try to avoid routine meetings. And also, you find some of the routines, only one fellow will be keep on talking. Sometimes you'll find people are quarreling each other. Two people will keep on quarreling and other people watching. These kind of meetings are a waste of time. You must be able to see that meeting is conducted effectively, productive, right? It should have some meaning. And if you feel that meeting is not very important, ask for exemption. Always set time limit, half an hour, 30 minutes. Time limit, stick to it. That should be a habit for all the members who are attending it. If somebody you are called for a meeting, why you are calling? Because he's expert. Therefore, in a meeting, which is called to call, solve problems, issues, each should have an opportunity to talk. Let the fellow say, at least I have got no points. Let him speak at least that. So everyone should speak in the meeting. That should be the norm. Whenever you call for a meeting, send your agenda points at least 2 days in advance, unless it is some emergency. You send it for 2 days in advance. Why I'm telling 2 days advance? I already talked about incubation in your mind. In the agenda, you are given the problems to be solved. What are the problems to be solved or discussed? Therefore, the members who come to you, they already analyze their problems, use their skill, come with a solution. Therefore, they need time to think about the problem, apply their mind, bring creativity, right? Bring some solution to the meeting. It is not just coming and attending meeting. Please keep that in mind. The agenda should be circulated 2 days in advance. Give enough opportunity for the people to think and come. Give enough opportunity for the people to speak in the meeting. Then only the meeting will be successful and you will be able to find some solution to the key problems, issues. Then only the meeting will be meaningful. Of course, we waste a lot of time and travel. Of course, you got a telephone, you got a net facilities, Google Meet and what all. Therefore, try to minimize your waste time on travel. So time for me, that means you need to have some time for yourself. Relaxation, recreation, have some fun, regenerate, and you freshen your mind so that you are able to give productive work. So at the end, to sum up some of the key points I like to emphasize is we have 24 hours. Our failure is maybe because we are not planning properly. So we have enough time, but fail to plan. Therefore, plan it effectively. Need to balance family, health, and work. Okay? Don't sit at office for a long time. Have optimum time applicable to your family. Do some exercise. Health is very important. About 2 years back, I read in the newspaper, one of the chief executive of a multinational company, he died at the age of 45. They investigated, they have found that he was sleeping only 4 hours throughout his life. You can imagine. He's died. I hope you all will agree your health is the basis at which you can take care of your family and work. Without good health, no work, no family. Please spend some time, half an hour in a day, to invest on your health. That investment will be useful to you 30 years, 40 years down the line. Therefore, you must be able to balance family, health, and work. Don't say, avoid saying, I don't have time, right? You must be able to spend time where it is judiciously required, allocate. So whenever you carry out the work, please prioritize. That is very, very important. What is the first work to be done? That will reduce the pressure for you because you are able to complete the important work early in the morning. So you are relieved. Don't blame others. The time is yours. There is no point in blaming others because of you, I could not achieve. All this blame game should end. Take your own responsibility. If you failed, accept I have failed. Right? Don't blame others. Set SMART goal. I hope you know what is SMART stands for. Specific, measurable, uh, relevant, time bound, achievable. All this becomes SMART. Okay. Now, T is the time bound. So whenever you set a goal, please fix the time, what is required, plus 10%. I hope I am able to make it clear. If you think you are able to achieve a goal 100 days, give time as 110 days. And you are told 110 days for the customer, and you are able to deliver the product in 100 days, the customer will be delighted. That 10 days extra, you keep it for cushioning in case of emergency. Because you cannot tell your customer, no, because of this, I am not able to meet your target. No. Incorporate that flexibility by yourself and make it 100 days instead of 100 days. Many companies, they do it. They have always cushioning. Don't overdo it. I want to show it. Don't underestimate. Right? So therefore, always have a flexibility in fixing. So the T stands for time bound. That time, please fix it appropriately, introducing flexibility, and you are able to achieve your task and make the customer satisfied. Promote teamwork. What is organization? Organization is made of teams. Small teams, they form together, becomes organization. So always promote teamwork. Now I put V is greater than 1, greater than I. So a mathematician will say, why it is greater? Because there are two alphabets. Here it is only 1, right? So 2 is greater than 1. That could be a logic. So here the logic is not so. Here when I say V refers to team. A team is greater than individual. In an organization, please do not use the word I. I hate I. Because we have to promote, we have to work as a team. It is a teamwork, right? A team should be cohesive. They must be able to work together and they must be bonded together. So therefore, the team must be able to achieve the task. An individual is not very significant, whereas a team is more significant. That's why I put we as a team is greater than I. So therefore, thanks for your time.